UK.
I got to be careful about vaping that. It's a prototype, so...
Good evening, welcome to Vape Talk UK, episode 230, did we say?
Yes.
230. This evening with me to my left or to my right, I'm not sure. We have
left
Kaz,
on the stream.
And beneath me, we have the infamous Brent, better known as the Bearded Viking. We're going to have a chat with Brent in a few moments. Quick hello to those in chat. Alex, good evening. Good to see you. Jesse, good evening. Blitz, how's it? It's good. Who else have we got? Another Alex. Oh, one Alex.
Alex Klupp.
Klupp, good evening. Gareth, good evening. Smirkin, good to see you, buddy. Those of you that are new here, don't forget to hit that follow button. We'd really appreciate the support.
It's about there.
I don't know which way because I'm not sure if I'm mirrored or not. Is that my right hand or my left hand?
That's your. That's on you. The window. The window is the right on the stream.
Kaz, did you just sniff your fingers?
You should really know which is your left hand and right hand.
It gets mirrored like 3 times.
No,
I'm the one that's gone through African education. I mean, really, guys.
It's definitely left or right. It's one of them either way. Either way. Thank you very much for the sub, Ali. You're on a 6-month streak. Appreciate that. Right, let's make a start. Apparently, Riart in YouTube says hi. Good evening.
I'm actually going to bring YouTube up. I feel like I probably should.
Nah. Alex, look after YouTube. Entertain them. Good evening, Liquid Faction. Good to see you.
Hey, Liquid Faction.
We'll talk about that later because you were talking about that earlier on your show, weren't you?
Yeah.
So we'll have a chat about that in a bit. Shall we do a very brief what we're vaping on? We'll start with you, Cass. I'm sure you're vaping same old, but it's always
Same old thing. So anyone new watching, this is the cheaper kin, as I call it, because it cost me a tenner. Minikin V2 with a little K3 tank on top, and inside that I've got some 12mg Heisenberg. It's a really simple setup, but it's been getting me through the last weekend. I've been flat on my back with a dirty stomach bug. So the fact I'm even here today is a miracle. But yeah, just that's all I'm vaping on, and it's lovely.
Brent, what are you vaping on?
In my hand, the Evil Dildo with a blotto on top. Bearded Viking custom acrylics. In this one is Frozen Black Currant by Liquid Faction.
Did you say the Evil Dildo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Evdillo. The worst named mod in the world. It's literally called the Evil Dildo.
Amazing.
Evdillo.
How is it to insert? Is it quite easy or plenty of lube?
It's evil. It's fucking evil.
It's one of those, it goes in but it won't come out.
And you squeeze to fire.
If you don't know it, it's by Uwell. It's a Joule 21700. It's power. It's solid. It's really good. This is the chrome version, which mistakenly, when they sent it to me, said, which one do you want? And I was like, I want the chrome one because it looks cool. I don't think it was a bad idea, but it was a bad idea. And then I've got an Odin over here with another, that's the Splotto, the one we launched in Birmingham. Also Bearded Viking acrylic set on there. And it's Liquid Faction Lime Solo. And last but not least,
what's the flavor profile on that last juice?
It's lime. lime solo, but it's like a lime milkshake. It's actually pretty good. It's very. I literally just put it in my tanks like 2 hours ago. I normally like try all the juices for about a week before I comment on them, but these two just really blew me away. I was quite impressed.
Just straight away.
Last but not least, the Caliburn, did a little custom polish job on it. Love this thing forever and ever. Caliburn, and it has 20 milligram Nick Salt's COF peach bubble gum. And that's what's on the desk right now in front of me. It would take years to go through everything else.
So I am still on the Evil Reaper, still on the Danny Box. I have just wicked up Slam Piece for Purge. Still vaping on. Guess.
Blood?
Red Astaire.
Red Astaire. And I'm just finishing, I say just finishing off, I've got a fair amount left, but my current bottle of lemon crack.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
On to the news then.
Straight in. So we'll do that bit of news last because I know I want to throw up a video to do with it, but we'll do that in a minute. So in the what's the word? In the process of banning anything to do with vaping, the Americans in New Jersey are now bringing in a flavor ban. So New Jersey lawmakers on Monday approved a bill that would ban the sale of flavored vaping products. The bill passed in both the Senate and State Assembly and now heads to Governor Phil Murphy, who has until January the 21st to either sign or veto the bill. The bill prohibits the sale and distribution of electronic smoking devices with a distinguishable flavor, taste, or aroma. Nice and black and white, that is. The legislation would also impose a minimum fine of $250 for a first offence, $500 for a second offence, and $1,000 for each subsequent offence. The Senate passed the bill by a vote of 22 to 15, and the Assembly approved the bill by a vote of 53 to 11. So it's not far off unanimous with those, with 8 Assembly members abstaining. The law would go into effect 90 days after being signed by the governor. This is all the information I've got on it, but it looks like New Jersey is shooting themselves in the foot as well.
I wonder how much.
But how can it be? It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
The Americans seem to have it in their head that the reason that teens are vaping is simply because it tastes good, and that banning flavors is somehow going to start making it healthier, or is going to stop teenagers or young users doing it. What they need to realize is that if you're going to stop your teens and kids using these devices, that punishing those who are consenting adults using it isn't the way to go about it. It just doesn't work.
No.
So we don't want kids to drink alcohol, therefore no one can drink alcohol with any taste, just pure vodka. That's all you can drink. It's got no taste, no one can drink it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also unfair that in our day and age, I think I'm a little bit older than you, Kaz, but we weren't protected from cigarettes. Now there's labels on boxes and there's warnings and there's media drive to prevent us from those things.
Yeah.
But still, I know guys that are 20 years old that have started smoking. And I know a guy, 15 years old, one of my friend's sons, just started smoking. He's 15 years old. And I'm like, why would you start smoking if you've seen all the... He's like, it doesn't really matter. It's like, some people will and some people won't. You can't curb an entire society, but you can help prevent the illnesses that are going around by helping the rest of the society, that the previous people that have gotten damaged. America, they're just going to overturn it in 3 months' time and just ruin people's lives for 3 months.
Oh, of course.
Ruin people's lives, ruin people's businesses, ruin people's livelihoods, families.
Yeah.
Boils my piss, it really does.
And those aren't reversible changes for those people. Once their business is gone, their business is gone. People aren't just going to open it up. I mean, across the states, whether it's banned or not, businesses are seeing massive reductions in income because even if it's not banned in their state, people still aren't using it as much. And that's irreparable damage across the board. Nothing's going to come out that's going to say, right, it's fine to use now.
Well, that's 100%. You know, that guy that started his vape shop a year ago, saved up with 3 or 4 years to get enough money to get the rent, to get the stock in the store. And now you've just killed his business. He's sitting with all that stock that he's outlaid, he cannot get rid of. You've set him back 10 years. You've set a family man back 10 years. It's ridiculous.
That's stupid. Well, on that happy note, the WHO has called for tighter e-cigarette regulation.
Just very quickly, sorry. Adrian from Liquid Factions just said, it's such bull. Vaping my blackcurrant and getting into my car is fine. Drinking blackcurrant flavoured alcohol and taking out a family of five, that's fine. Hypocrisy.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I really want something with blackcurrant in it, like a drink.
Oh my god. Kaz, here, you can have this bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, oh cheers. I'll just grab it out there. Yeah.
It's really good. I love blackcurrant, so yeah, I was stoked to get this.
Right, so it says, despite the case that the EVALI cases, now EVALI is the term they've given to this outbreak in the States. It's called e-cigarette vaping and related products lung illnesses.
Pardon? What?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
No, the EVALI, so EVALI, electronic cigarettes, vaping, and related products lung injuries have been linked to the consumption of illicit. So despite the fact that these cases have been linked to the consumption of illicit THC, the World Health Organization still says it's disturbed by the fact that vaping devices keep being marketed as safer alternatives to cigarettes and/or smoking cessation tools. Even though the research has indicated to the contrary, the WHO spokesman Christian Lindmeier says that these health claims are unproven. They're not. Whilst these electronic nicotine delivery systems may be less toxic than conventional cigarettes, this does not make them harmless, he said. And I'll get onto my point in a minute, but said they produce aerosols from the vapor they contain, toxicants that can result in a range of significant pathological changes. These ends pose health risks for non-smokers, to minors, to pregnant women, all of those who should not use such systems. In line with suggestions by harm reduction and vaping advocates, the WHO says there should be a sensible ban on the promotion of products to non-smokers and pregnant women and minors. Meanwhile, renowned Canadian public health expert David Sweener says that the growing panic surrounding vaping and any bans that may arise could have disastrous consequences in reversing the positive results that have been achieved in decreasing smoking rates. This is hugely counterproductive. He says we have the potential to get rid of our leading cause of preventable death, which is what is killing people is the smoke, not the nicotine. Now, the point here, no one in the entire industry has ever said this is 100% safe. We are saying it is safer. And
it's an alternative. The word is alternative.
Exactly. And yes, it's not, but it's like going, right, I'm going to eat 10 cheeseburgers a week, but actually my alternative is to eat one massive cheeseburger. Now, it's not 100% safe, but it's better than eating 10. Well, you can't eat any cheeseburgers because it's still not 100% safe for you. Like, I'm trying to give it a stupid analogy because that's how fucking stupid it is.
But I have my cheeseburgers with a Diet Coke. What's wrong?
Well, exactly. But Diet Coke's not 100% good for you.
I have my Jack Daniels with a Diet Coke. It's all right. It's fine.
Yeah.
Can I drive?
Yeah. Yeah, why not? No, it's stupid. And the WHO, who really should be much more open-minded than they are not. And yes, I agree with them that there should be bans on promotion of products to certain people. There need to be tighter regulations on how adverts look. Are those adverts appealing to kids? It's the same shit that any other advert in any other industry goes through. If it's not advertising things properly, then why, it will get pulled away. I mean, in the UK, we have the ASA, the Advertising Standards Agency. And if they think that a product is not advertised in a way that they seem to be safe or correct or legal, they'll pull it.
Yeah, but they suffer backlash from a vendor or a brand lawyering up and like going at them saying, but how do you justify that? It might not be acceptable to you, but to the general consensus for the population, it is. So your governing bodies need to fall back onto some sort of laws, and that's why they're blanketing these laws around vaping. But again, they're only harming their own GDP, their own income. as well as not saving lives. That they're really not helping save lives.
No,
And
you're exactly
the
right.
controversy goes all the way back to Big Tobacco's payout for the NHS, not NHS, the what's that, AWA, the Master Agreement Settlement, MSA.
Oh yeah, that's it. There's a huge amount of responsibility falls on to those companies who are producing e-liquids or producing devices, making them look like grenades, pulling names out of things like Call of Duty, any kind of cartoon character. Like, we as vapors don't give a fuck whether your BlackBerry Crumble has a little cartoon man on it. No one cares.
For sure. Yeah.
Make the bottle look good by all means, but it doesn't need a cartoon character to represent that. It doesn't need to be called Mr. fucking Fluffy Pancakes for me to buy it. So
No.
that falls on the people whose fault all of this is. I mean, in the UK about 2 years ago, we had a big push at food-related packaging, didn't we?
Yes.
So because if vaping liquid or vaping products were made to look like food, but they were not food, that was in breach of food advertising standards. And the trading standards went absolutely fucking mental pulling stock from their shelves. And rightly so. Why?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Why trying to be something else that you're not?
Exactly.
You're vape e-liquid. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Alex has just said you'd have it if it was a sample, though. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I did a video on it, I'd just cover the label.
I'd be like this. I'm vaping on this tonight. Yeah, it's great.
Adrian has just said, Brent, maybe you want to mention the VPSA in South Africa and the advocacy you work with. Yeah,
sure. The VPA, the Vapers Products Association of South Africa. So they're doing as much as they can. We were facing, like, right now, to be honest, South Africa has legit no actual written law about vaping. Some of the malls have cottoned onto it, and under the little disclaimer when you walk in the mall, it now says no electronic cigarettes. But that's right of admission, so they could kick you out of there, but you couldn't be charged federally or you couldn't go to jail. There's no laws on it just yet, and we are advocating for stringent stipulations, bottle sizes, nicotine strengths, advertising, and stuff like that, in lieu of the idea that when they come in, it's going to be misled, and they're just going to white box us. Basically, this guy here, Liquid Faction again. This is a guy in Cape Town. Works a normal day job, makes a juice. It's very good, but he has an ISO 7. His juice is made in an ISO 7 lab. Everyone that makes juice in South Africa now makes it in a lab, whether it's made on behalf of them or they've turned a room in their house into an ISO 7 with an HEP filter and clean room and things like that, following those standards. But we are aware of, obviously, what's happening in America, what's happening in the UK. So the VPA is trying to coordinate the government or coerce the government into the understanding of what the impact of vaping can have on South Africa and what the impact of cigarettes is. What we're struggling with is we're still a third world country. But if you come out to South Africa, you would think that we're kind of first world. Like, South Africa is the first world country on a third world continent.
See, the UK is exactly the opposite. It looks like a first world country, but actually it's a third world country.
Yeah. I don't know. It was pretty nice when I was there, except that cold weather and all those beautiful Slovenian girls. It's amazing. But yeah, we're rambling.
As far as obviously you're saying there's no legislation as it stands at the moment in South Africa. With tobacco products and smoking as it stands, do you have a large population of smokers at the moment?
Yeah. So that was my third world country comment. is that because big tobacco has been pushed out of all the first world countries, they're now targeting Africa and South America, putting in cigarettes way cheaper than you can get them in the US or in the UK, and UK or Australia. So the first world countries are making it difficult for them to trade. So they're looking for alternatives, and they're finding Africa and things like that. And that's what one health prime minister said, is that there's no chance that big tobacco is going to kill his people. Unfortunately, he's in the mindset that this is big tobacco, and he doesn't know the health benefits. So we're working with them. We're working with the government to try and help them. One of my good friends, Kurt Yeo, is actually on the board of the VPA, and they were in England just after Birmingham. They went for a big vape. It wasn't a, but it was a medical health thing regarding vaping and legislation. So hopefully soon we get some sort of legislation, because we are also heavily targeted by black market products, fake syndicate juices and things like that. So even fake vape devices. And so it's unfortunate. Normally, if something was legislated correctly, like a Toyota vehicle, and you brought in a fake one or a real one that's not supposed to be in the country, a grey import, customs would seize that and destroy it. Now you can take customs agents to a vape store, tell them that whole shelf there is fake. You can be the owner of it. A friend of mine works very well with Dinner Lady. He's in South Africa. He's the agent for Dinner Lady, and he's gone with customs officials. They confiscated it. 3 days later, they had to give it back because there's no legislation. So those guys continue to sell fake Dinner Lady. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That's crazy. Well, we can definitely go into a bit more detail about that in a minute, because I think that's going to be incredibly interesting. Because I want to know more about the vaping scene in South Africa. But I've just got one more bit of news. This one's a bit of a unique one. I haven't seen something like this yet. So, Pennsylvania State Police said child endangerment charges are pending against 2 teenage girls after video posted on social media appeared to show them recording a toddler using a vaping device. The police said in a statement on Monday that a criminal investigation unit is investigating the incident they allege took place whilst a 17-year-old girl was babysitting a 2-year-old boy in the evening of January 9th in Westmoreland County, part of the Pittsburgh metropolitan area. An 18-year-old was also at the home, police said. In the video obtained by state police and provided to CNN affiliate KDKA, at least one girl can be heard laughing whilst the toddler appears to put a vaping device in his mouth. A girl next to the toddler holds her phone out in front of him, appearing to take a photo or video. The toddler falls down and starts coughing. We can actually show you that video in a minute.
Can we?
I think so.
That is fucking scary, man.
Do we want? I have two minds whether to play this or not.
I vote nay.
Yeah, I mean, what you can't see a lot in it, but knowing what it is quite disturbing in a way.
I'm gonna vet.
Yeah,
knowing what it is enough.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what's happened.
That's crazy, man. That's infuriating.
No, I'm not sharing that. I'm not giving it the airtime.
No, fair enough.
Yeah. That's one of our policies here, is don't share bad news. Like, don't regurgitate the bad stuff of vaping, only the good stuff.
Yeah. I think a lot of the time, if we do, some of it is kind of like a warning, I suppose. But wouldn't you? How pissed off and just insurmountably angry would you be if you left your 2-year-old with someone and it turned out they were trying to give him your vape device?
No.
That would be.
I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and sure as nuts, they pick up the stuff. They do pick it up, but my children have been taught not to.
Yeah.
Put it in their mouths or whatever. So there's actually a video on my Instagram of my son taking my vape out my hand, and normally he just takes it so he can give it back to me. He's 1.5 years old, and he threw it in a puddle of water.
Amazing.
It was great.
Yeah. And listen, you can't blame kids for picking stuff up, for knocking it over, for whatever, but it's very different. Forcibly.
Unfortunately, it's a case of monkey see, monkey do. Whatever you do, your kids they're going to pick up on it, aren't they? It's not. it's like turning around to your kids and saying, you will not smoke. But yet, mummy and daddy smoke. You know, chances are, if, and I'm sure people may disagree on this, surely, you know, if I'm a smoker, my wife's a smoker, and we have a child, chances are they're probably, the odds are stacked towards that child smoking.
I don't know.
I don't know, but no, that's definitely cuntish behaviour. And you, my friend, whoever you are, can get in the bin.
Get in the bin.
Yeah, if that was my child and that was my babysitter, I'd punch her in the bracket.
Oh dear. So that is all the news. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of happy news, and I did have a really good search for some happy news. But I do have a very small bit of happy news. Is that our friends at Wick Liquor have finally released a new range of yogurt flavored vapes.
And those of you that don't know, Cass creams over yogurt flavoured vapes.
I fucking love yogurt flavoured vapes. I mean, they've given them really, really wanky descriptions. Do you want to hear the really wanky?
Go on.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, right. I am going to get so tongue-tied on some of these. It's so stupid.
I've looked at the name of it, and I can't even remember the name of it because it looks so strange on the screen.
Oh, God, their website's not obvious. Wait. Wick Liquor yogurt. There we go. Okay, so right. This is the Miyako Forest Fruits, which is a Yamanashi Shadow Currant Jam and Kurimu Cream Puff Yogurt.
Sounds quite Japanese.
Yeah, well, no one's going to question that, are they? Because they don't know what the fuck it tastes like.
What the fuck is a shadow currant?
Right. It's not like a black currant. It's a white currant that's hiding behind something in the shadow.
It says, the rich and ancient mythology of the bamboo cutter helps to unveil the act of innocent discovery, giving birth to Kirimu yogurt by Wick Liquor. This maverick triple range of hyper creamy fruit yogurt creations has been secretly developed to transport you to the vibrant island of Miyako, enveloped in thick, complex layers of luxurious Kurimu shu. This mind-altering fruit base have been forged in a cauldron of clandestine alchemy. This is the ultimate dessert flavor range, bonded in blood by a trade route to the eastern lands, smuggled to you by the original headhunters.
Ah, fuck it, I want some. That sounds great.
I want to find the others. All right, let's go to their shop. 50 mils. Here we go. So that's the that's the forest fruits. This one is Yokosuka apricot syrup, which is apricot and yogurt. It doesn't, get any better than that. And then we've got Honshu raspberry crush and Kirimu cream puff yogurt. I don't know. If any of them are even half as good as Boulevard, they're onto a winner.
Well, let's hope that they spent as much time on the recipe as the fucking label.
Oh dear, no, I don't. I just yogurt to me, it's the whole sweetened yogurt's almost got that sour kind of sour cream, and I don't fancy. I've tried many different yogurt vapes, and I've never liked one. I'm going to be honest. There you go. Gareth said I wouldn't buy it just for the pretentious descriptions.
Yeah.
I'd buy it just because of the description.
I want to know what shadow currant is. That's what
I told you. It's a white currant that tastes like a black currant.
Nice. I like it. So yeah, that's my good bit of news for this week. It's that thin on the ground.
That was rather uplifting. Thank you, Kaz.
That's all right. I'm glad I've inspired you.
So our main feature this week then, we obviously have Brent with us. I got BVC in my head and I couldn't, from the Bearded Viking Customs.
It's bottom vertical coil. What are you on about?
On a vertical coil. Thanks.
So, who are you? Why are you here? for our viewers that aren't up, we've mentioned you on a couple of shows in the past, particularly on some of your handiwork. But in a nutshell, who's Brent and what is Bearded Viking Customs?
Oh, this is me in a nutshell. BBC, Bearded Viking Customs, started in 2017, early stages, January, maybe a bit earlier than that, but yeah, officially February, March 2017. We're a custom acrylics company, so make acrylic anything. I got into vaping 2016. I know, not a very long time ago. 4 months later, quit my construction job. I was a project manager, so I could make vape tips because I had an iJoy RDTA 5. Remember that? The first RDTAs that came out, yeah. But that little ring acrylic that was on it just used to fuck off all the time. And I was vaping straight on metal for like 2 weeks, and I kept on going to the vape store and like, hey guys, like, can I get a new one of these? And they're like, yeah, sure. And they never got it. So eventually I went home and I made my own one. I've still got it. I don't have the RDTA, but so I made that. A little wooden, So that drip tip was so fucking wide. Like you could just put your tongue in and dip on the coils. And so I made it like a little hookah tip. And when the guy at the vape shop, Craig, the big guy at Survey, when he saw it, he was like, oh, that's really cool. Could you make it out of anything else? Now, he knew the industry, had been in the industry for like 7 years before me. And so he knew that people make custom trips, but he didn't lead on to anything. He kind of let me discover it on my own. So I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I can make it. I could turn it out of nylon or Delrin or something like that on the lathe at home, because I'm quite handy like that. And eventually started doing that, and I started making drip tips for people and custom orders, and started getting a little bit of money in. Not enough. And then the demand became too high, so I formulated a way that I could make more of them and still keep the custom aesthetics to it, like coloring and stuff like that. And I still do take custom orders. And then a funny Hugo, that is Craig's partner at Survey, Hugo said to me, well, why don't you just make in those days we didn't even have acrylic glass, bubbles. We only had straight glass. He was like, well, why don't you make that? And I'm like, no way, it's impossible, can't do it. It took me about 8 months to work out the resin that was perfect for this. And ended up started making them, and now we do probably about 150, 160 different type of acrylics for 150 different devices, straight glasses and bubble glasses. Yeah. And that's, I mean, you guys know how many RTAs are in the world. Yeah, that's nothing. It's a drop in the ocean, but it's basically just local. And in the beginning, I'd get guys coming to the workshop and they're like, hey, do you have a acrylic for that? And I'm like, well, if you get an original and you let me make a mold of it, and then I'll give you an acrylic for free. That was the way I was like getting things into the workshop just to start off. Now we kind of, we still borrow a lot from vape stores when they know they're getting a consignment of like 50 whatever RTAs. They'll send me 3 so that I can make molds and get the acrylics, because it's become a stage now where people will go in and they're like, oh, have you got this latest RTA? And like, yeah, we got it. And like, do you have BBC acrylic for it? And they're like, no. And like, okay, I'll come back next week. They don't want to buy anything unless it's got acrylic. Yeah. And I mean, that's 2 tanks hitting together.
Yeah.
I would laugh if you broke both of them now, though.
But in 3 years, I've had legit like six damage claims, and I just replace it free of charge. I ship it to whoever's got it. Normally, the ones that have been damaged is people showing off to their mates, like, hey, look how strong my, any sort of acrylic or plastic or resin does have its tolerances.
Of course.
But yeah, and then it's evolved from there, where we started making things like that, and then we got into this little guy. All right, let me turn that white light off there a little bit. That's the skull.
I think I saw that on Vapor Bay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
This is the stone version. So this is paintable. A project that I've tried to do for about a year, and I've just got it right in the last couple of months. So you can paint that in any colors you want. It's ceramic.
Do you carve it?
No, it's in the mold. Everything's molded. But there's a lot of secrets to it. There's temperatures and procedures and things that it'll cost you your life savings in 3 years of your life to work it out. I know that, because that's where I'm at right now. So yeah, we make those. www.beardedvikingcustoms.com, and that's the international website, which will give you US dollars and DHL shipping prices to your door.
Can one of the mods just pop the link in chat for us, please?
Oh, okay, sure. Moderators. www.beardedvikingcustoms.com.
Andrew,
if you are in South Africa, it'll divert you to the South African website, just because it's in rands and the shipping is a completely different shipping. So it's two websites, but they mirrored, just with the exchange rates difference of it.
According to Andrew, the Bogan has showed off your stuff for a long time.
Yeah. Sam and my relationship's about a year and a half, maybe 2 years old now. And that's also one of the things that I won't lie, that really did put me on the map, on the international map. I'm still very unknown in South Africa. I'm joking, but yeah, I had a mate of mine ask me for a lift to the airport because he was going to Australia. So I said, yeah, sure, not a problem. And I'd been watching Sam's videos for a couple of months, and I had chatted with Sam on Instagram because I posted something, and he messaged me privately and said, I really enjoy your work. It's pretty sick. So I said, thank you very much. It's like, I was like so starstruck. I was like, wow, the vaping Bogan. And so when I picked him up to take him to the airport, he was like, yeah, do you want me to bring you anything like vape related back from the UK, from Australia? So I was like, I don't want you to bring me anything, but would you mind taking something for me? Because back then I didn't know how to ship things, and it was ridiculously expensive to ship, not knowing what I know nowadays. So I came home and I grabbed a couple of acrylics and some tips and whatever, and I had one of these. I hadn't even started really making them yet, but I just had one that it was kind of like a mix of different colors. This was that green one. It had brass top teeth and silver metal bottom teeth, and it was on my desk, and I was like, it wasn't even ready to be sold. It wouldn't ever get sold. It was like a prototype, and it was just a mess up. And that's the only one I had, so I grabbed it, threw in the box, and sent it to Sam, and yeah, he went wild for it. Hey,
awesome.
Dennis has just said, we need to make a bubble tank for the Theatro just to mess with Sasa.
What's that? Sorry, I'm missing the whole...
We need a bubble tank for the Theatro just to mess with Sasa.
Yeah, the Teatro tank, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Theatro.
What is it?
Teatro.
A 2 mil TPD thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, I got... What's Richard? Richard's name? Vaping Vic.
Oh, yeah.
No, not Vaping Vic. Richard,
yeah. Vic.
Anyway.
V1CK.
Yes. Okay. He, through friends, I think Alex Mackenzie was involved in this again. And,
Probably.
yeah. So he brought out that Saveur tank.
Yep, Saber.
So it's French, is it not? Saveur. But anyway, Saveur tank. And I got one because I was gifted an Asmodus stab wood little mini mod thing like this from
the Ohmsmium.
Yes, the Ohmsmium. Yeah. I don't know where it is, but they gave it to me because it was my birthday, and I just needed something to go on there, and I was at a vape show, and I was walking around with it in my hand, looking like what will fit on here the best. And I got that Saveur, and obviously 2 more capacity is not enough, so I made a bubble glass for it. And when Richard found out, he was like, no, we need it. And then they ordered a whole bunch and had them at Just Nick. So that, and when we imported them, or when I exported them, I labeled it as
it was a napkin ring.
Napkin rings. Yeah. So the TPD guys wouldn't know. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Is John in chat tonight? He's not popped in, and I've not had a naked photo yet.
Yeah. He's on holiday, isn't he?
Oh yes,
John
he is.
Martin.
Yes. He's on holiday, isn't he? Or due to be? Isn't he? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
John who? Oh, John O.
You ever thought about moving into making mods or boxes?
That's a watch this space face. Look at it.
This was made. It's this light is too bright here. So this was made a very long time ago, with the Bearded Viking logo in there.
That's cool.
510. It's a squonker, mechanical, but it takes a 26.6 500 50. Yeah.
That was one of the big boys.
Yeah, when that battery first came out, I was like, I have to make a mod that puts there. And then I made it. I did a production of about 30 of them, and then the door comes off like that, and the back door actually slides.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like
and it's
that.
all in acrylic as well. And then I didn't put them in the market because I was fearful of people with mechanicals, and no. So, yeah. There are some mods in the head. There might be some things in production, but yeah, some tube mods, squonking boxes, and other things coming.
Watch this space.
Indeed.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a big year for BVC.
So that's looking forward to the next 12 months. Other than maybe possibly working on mods, anything else that's potentially that you're working on that you could talk about?
No, not really. Oh, okay. I'm working on a third website now where we will just be selling silicone kits. So I'll make a mold in silicone, and it will come with a kit form of resin, and you can just make your own like resin bowl or pendant on your neck or earrings or whatever like that. So that's more for the money side of life. Vaping still just for love. I've got a few projects going on with Sam and Dovpo. Probably I thought that we were going to do it for Birmingham again, another collab for Birmingham and Stuttgart, because Stuttgart is a week after Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
But Sam wants to launch it before that, so I legit sent out the samples today to Dovpo in China, so let's hope they get there. And then, yeah, it'll be super exciting. It'll be really, really cool. Yeah.
It's good to see something that started as, we call it cottage industry over here, something that started as a passion.
Home industry.
Yeah. Something that started as a passion, something that, you did for yourself, that you enjoyed, that you loved, like a lot of, smaller businesses start, to watch it flourish and go from, making something from yourself to all of a sudden producing for Dovpo, for working with Sam, moving forward. And, it's good to see in these third world countries that they are where we were 3 or 4 years ago, when it was an awesome community. I'm not saying it's not awesome now, but it's not as awesome as it was then in the UK. To see people striving and enjoying and loving the industry and making, like you said, you worked in construction and you jack that in to do what you love.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Giant leap of faith.
That must have been a huge leap of faith.
Yeah, yeah. Oh well, it wasn't necessarily going to be vaping products, but I had formulated a business plan over years and years and years and years ago, and it was because living in America, we used to buy everything online, and South Africa was not on par with online or deliveries and things like that. So I knew that I wanted to get into that web store online sort of situation, and then what product to use, like what product. Obviously, the product would have to be unique that no one else could have, so they couldn't price bash it. And then I would have had to have manufactured it myself or had it manufactured on behalf for myself. And so it kind of like that business process was already in my head by the time that I found vaping. And my vaping story is a genuine vaping story. I genuinely couldn't quit smoking. I'd sworn to my wife when we were pregnant I'd give up smoking. Was going to give up smoking when the baby came, and I think Sophia was like maybe 9 months old when I started vaping, and it was about 2 months I was vaping and smoking, and I was only vaping to learn how to blow a big fucking ring and walk through the lounge with it. That's the whole reason I started vaping. I had a twist before that a friend of mine bought me, and I just never took to it. I didn't believe in it like enough. It tasted terrible. It was so difficult to wick. It wasn't easy like nowadays. I mean, Caliburn, pod, juice, vape, recharge, new pod, new vape juice, you're done. So yeah, I knew that was something I needed to do, quitting smoking and the business. And after 2 months, I was scratching around the house. My wife's like, "What are you looking for?" And I was like, "Oh, my cigarettes." And she's like, "You haven't bought cigarettes in forever." I was like, "Oh, really?" And that was it. I just started vaping. And about a month after that, I was like, "This is the industry I need." And then looked at the industry and how I could fit myself in. I mean, we had a juice line. I've still got some of it here. But I felt like I was stepping on other juice manufacturers' toes, and I just didn't want to conform to the margins that are laid out by the retailers nowadays. So I just cancelled the juice line, and you know what? Just stick with what you know, do what you do, and kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, 100%. We always try and ask people when they come on if they have a desert island setup, right? So that is, what is it, Mike? One mod,
one tanker RDA, one juice. Oh, and why?
It's a bit weird. You don't need anything more than the Caliburn. If it has to be a mod, and I'm not, you see, immediately I'm thinking desert island water, I need a waterproof mod or whatever, but I understand the scenario.
Yeah.
A cabin in the mountains, yeah. The evil dildo and the blotto.
You never have to recharge it.
Yeah, you never have to recharge it, like every 4 or 5 days. It actually needs like a little alarm function on here, like, hey, I'm at 20%, just remember, so that you can remember to put your batteries in at night, because it just doesn't die. But then also, like, we've just had this chat in South Africa on the groups there. One of my tanks that just blew me out of the water was the Shadow. It's not that. What have I got up here? Yeah, the Shadow. Oh fuck! I didn't even know that it was designed by Grim Green. Oh, named by Grim Green. The Shadow. I don't even know who makes this. Omni RTA, the Shadow. This thing was great.
So that's a tenuous link to a YouTube name, isn't it? To a vaping name. Yeah, we got him to name it.
Named by Grim Green. Like, I wonder if he got paid for that. I must ask him. Yeah, so it's a silly little device. It's impossible to fucking wick, but it just works so well. The flavor of it's really good. The tank capacity sucks. everything's horrible about it, but it's just such a good device.
There we go, up on screen for those of you that are curious.
Yeah,
The Omni Shadow.
and what juice would you go for?
Oh, okay. So I've just moved. All my vape gear is now in the office upstairs. I'll rebuild shelves and all of that this December. So I don't have a bottle to show you, but I was asked in my last live stream. I would probably go with Tiger's Milk. It's by a local South African company called Steam Masters. Yeah, it's a lychee and Japanese white peach.
That sounds amazing.
No, it's like crack. I've got I don't know if James Oliver's watching. Hey, James. He's a guy based in the UK. He buys like 3 bottles a month. And I ship it to him. Lucky we haven't been caught by customs yet.
What did you say they were called? Vape Monster? Steam Monster?
Steam Masters.
Steam Master. Let's have a look.
I've got Matt Cloud's Immortal Vapors with a ZA.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, McLeod's is in Cape Town. They would probably have stock of the Tiger's Milk.
150 rand, is that right?
Yeah, that's about right.
I wonder what that comes to.
No, that's a 404 ever. 150 ZAR to GBP is about £8 sterling. Is that typical for a 60ml in South Africa?
Yeah. It used to be up like 220, then 200, then 180. Or when it hit 200, I just cancelled my juice stuff because the margin, it's only the manufacturer's margin that shrinks. The shop still wants its margin. So I just didn't find it feasible. And the guys that are lasting in this economy are the bigger juice manufacturers that can take a couple pound hit on a bottle because they're doing such large quantities. For me, that was a starter up. I mean, I was only producing about 600 bottles at a time. We weren't doing massive batches.
600 bottles in one flavour or across?
No, across 4 flavors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, if I got an order for 50 bottles, I'd jump off the fucking moon. I'd be so stoked. Yeah, unfortunately, the climate in South Africa is at a stage where I was in a vape store in Cape Town and I was chatting to the owner about my products and trying to get it into a store. And I heard the salesman in the background talking to somebody. And when somebody's pointing at the shelf and going, not what does that taste like, or what is that, what is that? They're going, how much is that one? How much is that one? How much is that one? And eventually the customer said to the sales rep, he was like, so what's your cheapest bottle? And the sales rep said to him, do you want it with the label or without the label? Because it's 10 Rand cheaper without the label.
What?
That's
Re Art in the YouTube chat wants to know what's your favourite beer?
Beer. Local or international? If you know local beers, I don't
Yeah, go local. Go local for us.
Lion. Yeah. It was up until like 3 weeks ago. Soweto was my favorite beer, but they were out of stock of Soweto, so I bought Lion, and I was like, oh wow. But I had one Soweto, and I thought, oh, let me try the difference. And I was like, no, okay, Lion is the way. Lion was a beer that my dad used to drink like 30 years ago, and then it just went off the market, and it's come back in the last like 5 years. So I never really drank it, but yeah, Lion's pretty good. International beers, I'd probably say, Guinness, if you call it a beer. It's like mother's milk. Yeah. Sol is the real Mexican beer. Corona is the fake Mexican beer.
When you're in the UK, then what do you tend to drink when you're in the UK?
Oh, only Brewdog.
Just Brewdog. You're a Brewdog fan.
Brewdog.
Oh, Brewdog.
Punk RPA.
You see, the punk is my go-to. I got a box I'd like to say a couple of weeks ago, but not that long ago. And
I can't find it here in South Africa.
There was 5 in it, and there's one left called Zombie Cake, which is a praline chocolate porter, and it's just too chocolatey for me. It doesn't sit well.
Pass it, yeah, I'll drink it.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Zombie cake.
Good evening, Chandler. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you, mate.
Good evening. Sorry I'm late, as normal.
That's all right. Chandler, this is Brent. Brent, this is Chandler.
Hi, Brent.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. How are
Way
you?
too fancily dressed. I feel underdressed now.
No. I'm working. And look, okay, I have to dress up to go to work in a call centre.
Oh, I put a shirt on to do this interview.
This is dressed down for Chandler. Normally he's got like a cravat on or something.
I've just took it off. Did you not know? I've
Yeah.
just took it. Here it is.
Wait. Hold on. You have to dress up to talk to people on the telephone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes so
Yeah.
much sense.
Yeah, because obviously they can tell over the phone, because obviously you dress up, you're feeling smarter. It obviously makes a difference in your voice and how you come over across the phone.
I
Do you
hope
have
to
all
call
your
you-
buttons on that T-shirt, or is that a fucking golf shirt with a waistcoat? Because that's just
It's a-
cheating.
Yeah, I'm cheating. It's a polo shirt with a. It's wrong side. Just
Don't worry.
Guess who? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, if I ever have to, for whatever reason, call your company and you answer, Chandler, game over, mate. Like, game over. No, you can't hang up on me.
Like Jono just
No,
said.
technically.
Let's not forget, Chandler used to be a clown.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I did.
They're going to use that. They're going to use that call because they record. All calls are recorded for your safety and for our training purposes.
Yeah,
That's
That's
going to
the
be
one.
the staple for the next 20 years. With Cash just nailing Chandler, just going at him.
I'm just gonna start fucking reading King Richard III down the phone at him.
I've got this feeling he's just gonna ring up Vodafone and he's just gonna keep ringing and dropping the call and ringing. No, next one. No, that's not him. No.
You're in the sales department, aren't you?
Might be.
Yeah.
Don't
So
say
what I call is
anything.
I call him up and I go, yeah, could I speak to the handler that I had last time, please? Yeah, I believe his name was Ian. Or do they give you a fake name? Like, hi, my name's Kevin.
You can say whatever you can say whatever you like. Yes, my name's Nigel. Today I'm going to be Nigel.
Amazing.
Fuck, I want to work in a call center.
Reese
If it's just for 3 hours.
Reese just said on Facebook, JHB, I'll bring you some Maluti Lesotho beer, bro. I'll be in Durban on the 29th of Feb.
Oh, Lesotho beer?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Lesotho. Yeah, it's a country within a country.
Okay.
Yeah, it's it's the only one of 2 landlocked countries by a single another country.
Okay.
Lesotho's in the middle of South Africa. It's their own. It's the Kingdom of Lesotho. They're landlocked by South Africa, and I can't remember, but one other place is the same.
Do they have a really ostentatious king?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And some of the best
Okay.
weed in the world comes from Lesotho.
he'll be in Durban on the 29th of Feb, so he's bringing you some beer.
Sorry, Mark. Who was that?
Re-art.
Reinhard. Yeah, you got to say it with the Afrikaans
Oh,
accent.
sorry,
Reinhard.
Re-art.
All right, shot Reinhard, bro. Appreciate that, dude. Yeah, all the beers, the better.
Amazing. I did have a question to ask, but it's completely gone out of my head. So, yeah, gone.
Weren't you going to ask Chandler for a job? You were struggling in your current position.
Oh yeah, no, I'm all right. I'm all right, thanks. Cheers, though, Chandler. I appreciate the offer.
Chandler, Hello, Ian speaking. How may I help you today? Cass, hi Ian. I know what you're wearing. That is a bit pervy, I've got to say.
See, I think he'd be allowed to put the phone down on me then. As soon as I become even the slightest abusive, be like, how many children have you got under your desk, Chandler? Like, you know, I think they were.
What are the rules?
Technically, so long as you don't swear at me, you're fine.
Oh, ooh.
Or is that what the book says?
I haven't actually seen a book, to be honest with you.
You just make it up as you go along.
Just, yeah,
How
literally.
the hell did you get the job then? They just randomly took you off the street, put a red shirt on you, and put a headset and said, "Listen, talk to people. Just read the prompts on the computer."
There's
No,
not even
seriously, I
prompts
just
on the
made that up.
computer. There's nothing. There is
That's why-
literally nothing.
That's why you never get anything out of these call center people. Because they're just like looking at each other. They're playing Tetris against each other, fucking battleships across the desk. And they're just like, yeah, sure. No,
Yeah.
you know, I'll have
You know the
somebody
bit-
look at that. Yeah, we'll send an agent round. Yeah, no, definitely. Absolutely. Sorry to hear about that. Yes, I'd love to help you.
You know the bit where they go, hang on a minute, I'll just have a word with my line manager, see if I can do something about getting that discount maybe a little bit bigger. I'll be as quick as I can.
Click.
Beep.
Please tell me you've got a chalkboard in the back of the office and people's names and how long you got somebody to stay on hold. Like that would be like at the end of the year, the pot money would go to one person. Like, can you believe Jeff? He had that guy on for 37 minutes on hold. Woo,
And
Would you believe we actually have got a board that tells us how long we've kept people on hold? Although we are supposed to not keep them on too long.
and if Chandler's
a winning board.
if Chandler's boss is watching, he's joking.
He's not. Dennis said, I used to work at a place and when a customer would swear at you, be really rude, you had to warn twice and after that you were allowed to disconnect.
I just couldn't do it because I know I am that bastard on the phone.
I find it so easy to get unnecessarily angry at call center people.
100%. I cannot do those phone calls. I have to get my wife to do them.
You don't cold call, do you?
No.
Pardon?
No. Thank God.
Cold call.
Calling's
Just randomly
horrible.
calling people.
They call
Oh no,
you.
I love those guys. The canvases.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to work about 50 minutes away from my house, and they always call you during that time because they know you're in traffic and you'll have the time to talk to them. And I would just talk to them about everything until I got to my front gate, and I'll be like, "Hey, it's been real, fantastic chatting. Cheers." Look.
Amazing. Are we ready for the Instagram?
Yes. Let me find.
I don't know, are we?
Folder. Well, what's the name? What's the name of your folder?
I forgot to. I forgot. What's the name of my folder?
Yeah. What folder did I create?
I don't know.
I've got last week's folder with bottles of Fanta. What's this?
Yeah, no,
week's?
that's last week's.
What's this?
So this week's. I was going to ask. Can you put websites up or not? I didn't ask you that.
We could try.
Jono has... Sorry, go on. So Jono has just said, Brent, gotta say, I've been following your work on Instagram for a while and love the work you do and the different various colours and materials you use. I tip my hat to you, good sir. Put your cock away, Jono, honestly.
He's after an Atty stand.
I think he's already got one, hasn't he? I'm sure he...
That's one thing
buy one?
I've remembered I was going to say. Are your prices that the Vapor Bay guys sell your products at the same prices that you sell them at?
No, they sell them for so much more. No,
I thought...
actually, they sell it about £5 cheaper than I sell it. No, $5 cheaper.
They
I don't
seem
know how that
really
works.
cheap. You could charge
they are.
3 times that.
Yeah. So standard, like the Addy stand, is about $21. You see, also like, and I don't mark up my shipping and stuff like that. Shipping to the UK or USA or whatever is about $19-20, which is ridiculously cheap. And thanks to my dyslexia, I got a great discount with DHL. It's a real story. Like, I am really genuinely dyslexic. I can't read and write for shit, but I can maths for fucking days. And I went into a meeting with DHL, and it was at another vape store, and they were having a meeting with DHL. So when I walked in, I knew that DHL was there, and I saw this guy sitting in the chair, and I went, "You're from DHL?" And he went, "Yeah." And I was like, "Fuck you!" And he's like, "What?" And I like lay into him a bit. I'm like, "No, fuck you guys, like really?" And I just went on a tangent about how are they trying to help small businesses? They only have for the big money and the blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, genuinely, we can help you. And I was like, okay, well, I'm currently shipping with X people for so much. But I was supposed to say 380 Rand, but because of my dyslexia, I said 280 Rand.
Mhm.
And he beat the 280 Rand.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
I have like this massive discount with DHL that whenever I
I've
get
got
my
this-
invoices, they're like, "Why do you have this discount?" I'm like, "No, I know so and so," and they're like, "Oh, okay, it's fine."
I've got this horrible feeling that you'll have been for your meeting with DHL, you've sorted out all of this discount, and because of your dyslexia, DPD turns up.
Well, it sometimes happens.
Amazing.
Yeah. Kids from other classes used to come into my class when it was book report day.
What?
Okay.
At school, kids
Oh.
from other classrooms used to come and sit in our classroom to watch me read my book report. It was hilarious.
Okay. I'm with
Yeah, because if I couldn't say a word, I'd just make up a word in the middle of it. Yeah.
you.
Adapt or die.
I do that all the fucking time. Right, Chandler, where would you like me to start?
Oh,
we
God.
we didn't find out what Chandler's vaping on.
Oh, yes.
Come on, get with the program.
What is this?
I've got my
I'm just interested to see what. Yeah. Oh, Basium, nice. Okay.
green Basium, and I've got the Oh Jenny with a Chris Munn bell cap.
Oh, I thought it was a cave one.
Yeah, you'd have thought.
No.
That's the size of his drip tips. Chandler can't use normal size drip tips. Chandler likes big
so many
drip.
things, but I think we would get kicked off if I had to say what I wanted.
Say it. Just say it.
Just say it.
We always do.
Oh, it's about the size of my son's. I mean, he's only 1.5.
Easy.
Amazing.
That made me sweat a little bit.
I've got the. Yeah, there you go. How's that
Oh,
for?
now he has to bring it. Now he has to bring out the big. What the fuck is that?
That's my commuter vapor.
I have no. Is that a real vape or is it like a modified?
It's a Star Trek communicator that one of our viewers, Craig Nichols, has put a lipo in.
Fuck's sakes, you look like a Trekkie.
He is a Trekkie.
Yeah. Surprised I didn't see you at Birmingham.
Vape long and prosper. Was that right?
The vape.
Was that right?
Pretty long, yeah. Vape long and prosper. I like that one. I'm nicking that for the podcast. There you go.
That is legendary.
So yeah, no, I've been. We had Craig on the podcast last week, and
is so
I've been
cool.
vaping this ever since. It's brilliant. So that's my mouth to lung setup with the Salt RTA and Shaky Apple, and inside that I've made up some custard. I've made a coffee custard.
You look surprised yourself.
I know, it's okay. That's the thing. Whenever I make mixed juices together, it's usually, it sounds really good and it ought to be brilliant, but when I do it, it's like, eh. But
You
this is
take
actually okay.
2 bottles off the shelf and then mix them together.
No, I've got concentrates that I've mixed together.
Oh, you develop it. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's great, but it is a bit. If I can get the top cap off. Yeah, I can. It's a bit evil on the old wicks.
I don't see any wick there. Is it that bad?
Yeah.
That was
You
clean
should get
wicks.
a penalty of some sort for that.
I mean,
That was
Mark's
clean
no
wicks
one's
less than
talking about
24
bad
hours
wicks.
ago.
What did you say, Kev?
Yeah.
It's the coffee, because the coffee concentrate I've got is literally black.
Well, it's like the
treacle.
wicks in your K Fund, Mark. You're like, yeah, it's still got mumps left in it.
Yeah.
It was like black.
The K-Fun, you got away with it in the K-Fun though.
No,
Everything
but that's the thing.
else.
I've got a juice, a Malaysian juice, a root beer float from COF, Claudio Funk, and I fucking love it so much.
Yeah.
But you'll go for like less than a week and open that thing up and think that you've been vaping the same thing on a desert island for months. It just gets so gunky. But it's worth it because the juice tastes that good. I mean, you've got to re-wick
Yeah.
like literally every day.
I was going to say, this custard's really nice, but that was clean wicks this time yesterday. And I've not been... I haven't taken that to work with me, so that's only from last night and about half an hour this morning.
24 hours minus 8 hours.
Yeah, pretty much. So...
Sweet. Okay,
have you got access to our pickies?
Yes,
I don't know.
I've got them there. Where do you want to start?
I must admit, I have dumped. Do you want? Should we start with the coils, because we always start with the coil.
There we go. Let's start with the coils then. Oh, I just pulled the wrong thing out of the way.
And I don't know what order I've.
So this is from PT Coils, Arnold, Nottinghamshire.
Yeah. No, I've got a few of these, and the reason I've got a few of these is because I saw one of his coil shots and thought, oh, that looks good, and went into his Instagram, and he does super macro shots. I mean, look at how zoomed in that is.
It looks like a pair of tights, I've got to be honest. Is
there
a mesh around that? Or is it...
It's got liquid in it, so there's liquid. You can see the liquid, how the liquid is held by the coil. Which is, it's just crazy. That is just so zoomed in. It's unreal. I don't know how. Well, you know how big coils are. That is just a mentally super macro shot.
Do we know what it looks?
Clean shot.
Do we know what it looks like before?
I can't remember whether the more zoomed out picture I've got is of that cut. No, I think the more zoomed out one is of something else.
Oh, okay. Moving on to the next then.
So there's a few of these. Sorry.
Have you? I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4. One with lots of tags in.
Oh, did I manage to take it with tags in?
Yeah.
Oh, moron! I can't even take a screenshot properly.
There we go. So PT Coils, another one.
Those are some
I mean,
nice shots.
I mean, look, it's so zoomed in. I think that wire on the left is probably something daft, like it's only something like 26 gauge. But you can see that it was obviously drawn, that one, and you can see the markings on it from when it was drawn through the...
Something quite Geiger-esque about that.
You see, that looks
isn't it?
That looks like 18, 19 gauge to my eye. That looks like something you make a coat hanger out of.
Yeah, when in actual fact the alien bit is probably something stupid like 36 gauge wire. It's such a tight shot. Yeah, go and check out his Instagram. He's got loads of these, and the photography on it is just incredible.
Next is what looks like a ring.
That was the zoomed out one. So that one's not quite. Yeah, that one's not quite so macro. But I mean, look at the
I would have said that was macro.
That is macro. The others are like super macro. It's like zooming in.
That I've got to say, that is a pretty coil.
Yeah,
it is, isn't it?
That is Sorry,
Yeah.
I'll stop wiggling it around. That looks like that looks like jewellery.
It does, doesn't it?
It does
Yeah.
look like jewellery. I am impressed.
Oh.
Is that cotton or sheep's wool?
I know it does look like sheep's wool. Again, because you're so zoomed in on it. I'm really impressed with his photography down there.
What's quite nice about that though is that you can see they're quite easily wickable.
Yeah.
And they're not
Yeah.
just a ridiculous thing that's hulking out of an RDA. Like he's clearly wicked that.
And it's really good to see, because when you're in that close, he's taken it with juice on the coil, so you can see how the liquid sticks to the wire. So all of that fancy Claptoning does actually work. It does hold liquid.
Next up, then,
it's cool.
I don't even know. It looks like barbed wire or something.
Yeah, that was another one. That was just another one of his zoomed in. That was one strand that was going to get wrapped into something else, basically. So that is just one strand of a coil. That zoomed in.
I'm just looking at some of the people that he's tagged into this. So you've got Mind Dream and T-Coils and Mother Chucking Ohms. I love that. Mother Chucking Ohms.
More than
G.I. Jane.
Dank Clouds.
Dank Clouds, Wire Shots, Mazy Vapes,
Coil tweaks.
Snappy Builds, but no, Mother Chucking Ohms. Someone needs to open a shop called Mother Chucking Ohms.
Or even just Mother Chucking Clouds. That would be quite cool.
Mother Chucking Clouds.
I still think Chandler's Chuff Palace is one of the top ones. I was going to open a shop called that. Just Chandler's Chuff Palace.
Yeah, we sell chuff in everything.
Next
I
up,
would
then.
probably just Urban Dictionary the word chuff for
I'm not going to do it now.
just in case.
Yeah, just chuff. Yeah.
Could mean
I'm
something
interested to.
completely different in a different community.
Chuff here is an arse.
Well, there we go. Chandler's
you
ass palace.
Chuff apparently is to use a vape or e-cigarette, most commonly used in Canada. Yeah, top definition on Urban Dictionary is to use a vape or e-cigarette.
No.
Oh, well, there you go. You're fine.
Apparently, the second most is a Yorkshire slang for a woman's vagina, most commonly used in Doncaster.
Yeah.
That's
it.
where
That's
I was
the one.
going.
And then there's loads after that.
And in up here, it's used frequently. Chuffing L. Chuff this, chuff that. Chuffing L.
Yeah, look. So I've just put the link in the chat. Go to that link, and then you will see that vaping is the top one.
I'm going to have to click on it now just to look. Oh no! Look.
Oh, you just timed out.
Who timed him out?
Me. I did that. You know why? Just as I went to click on the link, they posted, and it just happened to bring the comment up underneath the.
Chandler, apologise.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Can I untime it? I don't know.
No, Cass has done it. Cass has done it.
Oh, he just timed him out again. No. Right, leave it be.
Liquid Faction is actually a new guest.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is bullying him.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wait, where's Diddy?
Dilly's jealous.
Yeah, where's Diddy?
Diddy was watching and now he's not.
No, he's there. He just said he's jealous.
Oh.
There you go.
His name didn't appear in the user list. He said he's reposted. What kind of ohms do you guys run in your tanks and drippers?
Me, in my mouth to lung setups, I am a 1 ohm micro Clapton from the wonderful, fantastic, amazing Pilgrim Vapes.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored much.
Sorry, Mark sponsored.
I'm not sponsored at all. I am not sponsored. And if I'm going clouds, bro, typically about 0.1.
Well, I mean, that's a bit low.
Yeah.
Mark's
In
gone.
both of my bloodos, Both of my
I've got
brothers
one
are running
ohm.
at 0.1.
0.1.
1.
0.17. Sorry, I stopped. 0.17. Just happens to be like that.
You see, if
my-
I'm squonking, I tend to run a single coil at 0.4.
Okay.
Tends to be a fused Clapton, N8T, 2.5 mil. So you get a little bit of heat on it. Yeah.
See, right now I'm being a stock coil wanker and using a 1.8 ohm Nautilus coil, which I still think is one of the best mouth to lung coils out there. But normally, if it's a Clouds Bro Clouds sort of build, it'll be anywhere between 0.1 and 0.3. If it's a mouth to lung, it'll be anywhere between 0.5 and an ohm, depending on how much I've cocked it up.
Fair play. I've got basically if in my mouth to lung it's 1 ohm round wire 26 gauge Canthal. That's it. That goes in there. And Blotto. I've got a Blotto too. Point
Woo!
0.34. There you go.
3.4.
0.34 single coil.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
So, are you dual coils in your Blotto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2.5 RD.
Because
PVC coils.
he's a man.
I've got a 4 mil coil in there just because it could take it.
4 mil.
Yeah, and in my
4
black
mil.
Blotto, I've got a 4 mil single coil.
Yeah, it works ridiculously well in single coil. It's the only tank I'm.
Bonzo 1 point mech. I've also got a Purge Copper Viper. I pretty much use mechs a lot. Mostly box conkers, but mech life is real.
Same here. I do like my mechs. I do like my low builds, and I am a proper Kennedy bitch. I do like the Kennedy RDAs. I've had every single one since the first 22 mil brass.
Jeez.
Since the early days, since Steve's first, we stocked the 22s, we stocked the 24s, we stocked the 25s, we stocked the Vindicators, we stocked everything. I love everything that comes out of Steve's workshop. I do love Kennedy. The quality's there. They are awesome. But I still don't think you can beat an SOI.
Is that the shorty?
Shorty.
Yeah, they ballsed it up with the SOIX, but
You guys are in the UK. Do you see Morningstar mechs?
sometimes
I've never come
they're
across
not
them.
big though. Because
Yeah,
they have a group where
funny.
it's just button porn all day, isn't it?
Yeah, the boy makes some good mechs, man. And
Yeah.
I particularly love the 18350 mech stuff. I don't know why. I think
see,
smaller
I'm
things
not-
amuse me more.
I'm not a big fan of the 18350 stuff. You know, I've got a few of them, even down to, little. Hang on.
What is it? He calls it the fun size. Morningstar calls it the fun size.
Even down to little 18350
Yeah.
gizmo.
I love that gizmo. I'm so glad that survived your fire.
It did. The box didn't. The box is melted to shit.
Oh,
But the
Would you ever let it go?
Alive.
It's never been used, and I don't think I'd ever let it go, to be honest.
Shit.
I don't think I'd ever let it go.
That's all right. Just chuck it in with my salary and your wife.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier.
And the
And the
sting,
bed.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Eventually, that'll come my way.
have you still got his sting? Is that your sting, Kaz? Oh no, disgraceful.
He doesn't ship large amounts of things out anymore, so it's not like, oh yeah, that's tomorrow. I'll just chuck it in with the rest of the post.
I have to make a concerted effort to go to the post office, and ain't nobody got time for that. Good night all. Thanks for the awesome chat. Work in the morning. Thank you to the Bearded Viker for the invitation. Thank you very much for joining us, Liquid Faction. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Williamson. Enjoy.
Dennis has just said it's very rare for me to put a low build in anything. Only cloud chasing setup I have is an old Limitless Plus around 0.17. Normally vape between 0.3, 0.45 or around 0.65 for some smaller chambers in RTAs. Sorry. What's next on the images?
What do you want me to hit next? Shall we go for the RTA?
Yeah, again, I've got a handful of pictures on that, so you can throw them in as quick as you like. The first one is the one from Boetib. Does it say in the top above? Boeb Vapes. Huh? Don't worry, just stick one up.
Hang on. I've got Amber Mods. I've got Stern Mods.
They're all the same thing, so it really doesn't matter. Just stick one up.
And I've got an E-Liquid. Okay, let's go for the one in the bushes. Amber Mods. If anyone wants to check out Liquid Fraction, Facebook and Instagram at Liquid Fraction ZA. Thanks, Brent. Thank you, gentlemen. Cheers. If someone wants to pop one of the mods, if you can pop either their IG or their Facebook in, it'd be much appreciated. Thank you. So, yes, we have the side of a rock, a river, an out of focus leaf, and a precariously placed RTA.
Yeah, I thought that was photoshopped. It's not. It's just
it.
No, it's not. Because I went onto their Instagram. They've got others. It's just bonkers. I really thought that was photoshopped, but it isn't.
You'll have to explain. I don't have Twitch. Where are we? Twitch. I don't have it on. I'm on a mobile.
Oh yeah. Oh, you can't see any of the images.
No.
Shit.
No.
I'm well behaved.
It's the Stern Mods and Amber Mods co-op. It's the Avatar mod.
The Avatar.
I've got a few. Let's go to a proper photo of it, shall we?
Yeah.
That is a horrible photo.
It's a good photograph. It's a horrible photo of the Atty.
I've got to say, one thing that I really, really, really like is that drip tip.
Nice and rounded.
Look at that. Oh, it looks like a donut. It's just...
Have we got a way
Does
that
look nice,
Brent
doesn't
can
it?
see these photos?
If I PM them to you, can you see them all? It mean coming out of the
No.
chat.
That's all right. I'll just go back and watch this whole live again.
Okay. So
Yeah, the donut-shaped drip tips have started coming up about 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's there with a different cap, isn't it? That second cap, that metal collar, actually looks a little taller on the cap on the left, doesn't it? Or is it just me?
Do we know what the RRP is on the Avatar?
I don't as yet.
I will Google.
Dennis.
Are you Googling?
Dennis seems to know. The price is steep. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was expecting that they're basically. Mark Todd's doing a review, so they're not going to be cheap, are they?
Well, if you look at Stern Mods Avatar on Google, the first result is Instagram. The second result is Fast Tech. So,
Fast Tech.
We know where Cass is going to get this from.
although to be fair, I don't think it's actually a product. I think it's a sneak view. Yeah, it's just an article. It's a forum post.
You see, I'd be happy. Looking at the bore of that drip tip, I don't think it's going to be a true MTL. I'm sure it's not designed.
It's not big.
It's not big, and it's got a small airflow.
You see,
go to that link.
Right, hang on. Let me hide.
The link that I've just put in chat, go to that. That's a post with loads of photos of it.
That is the size of the bore I like of a drip tip. They need to be. I like the heat from a drip tip. I like to feel as though 6 months to get it's MTL to RDTL.
Okay. It's just going to be an open mouth to lung.
That's quite big, that, to be fair, isn't it?
It is a bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's alright.
I do like the look. Wow, would I use it? Possibly not. It does look nice. If I could get it down to
it looks a bit dwarfy.
If they can get it down to a true amount of lung, give me a 0.8. 0.8, I'd be happy as a pig in shit. 1 mil at most. It's a different size airflow at the side of the tank.
I'm going to release an RDA. I'm going to call it the Dolan. It's going to have no airflow at all.
That's
just
it.
a drip tip in a coil.
Yeah. No hole in it.
No, just have instead of an airflow, it's just going to have a membrane that lets some sort of oxygen through, but not a lot.
Not a lot. It's got to be.
Like a valve-based airflow.
Pinprick at the bottom. Right.
Yeah.
The main issue I have with this is on Stern Mods. Stern Mods has not been coming out with too much recently. And I've been following him on Instagram, but he's recently got into his bodybuilding.
Oh, no.
So almost on a daily basis, I am getting these poses of this guy with his top off and all his rippling muscles, and it's a little bit disconcerting. And my wife was concerned when she looked over my shoulder as I was going through my Instagram, and I had about 3 or 4 of these posts in a row of this. She's going, "Why have you got that on your phone?" It's like,
Did you not go, what the fuck are you looking over my shoulder for?
We were laid next to each other in bed. She'd got her head on my shoulder looking at her phone. I was looking at mine. So my phone was kind of in front of her face anyway.
So you're watching gay porn whilst your
Yeah.
partner's got her head on your shoulder.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
should have just said to her, but I'm going through your Instagram.
Amazing.
I'll remember that for next time.
You'll be like, oh yeah, double tap.
Slide right. Or is it left?
Right, I think.
I don't know. Right, juice. Put the juice up.
Juicy. Oh, what's that? Hang on. There we go.
Came across these
Right,
juices.
Sam Squires, if you're watching, you need to get this in because this would be perfect for Night's Vape. Carry on.
Yeah, no, it's got the helmet and everything. Legion. Right, have you got the one with the text underneath as well? Because the text gives us the flavour of these juices. Because it caught my eye. I'll be honest with you, it was the helmet, and I went, "Ooh, Night's Vape," but it wasn't. But I had a look at the flavour profiles.
Hang on. I didn't manage.
These are.
I don't think you sent that to me, did you? Oh yeah, got it. No,
Have you got it?
that is it. I've just not scrolled up enough.
Oh, okay.
I've only
shove it up a bit.
got Prunus and Zingiber.
There you go. Prunus. They are beer flavoured e-liquid. So you've got
I just sent some
Prunus.
to Sam.
So yeah, dark ale mixed with sweet plum and raisin, and Zingiber brown ale delicately mixed with a zingy ginger beer.
You see, I've worked with ginger. We did. What did I do? Rhubarb and ginger gin was one of mine. And ginger is incredibly hard to work with, and to get a good ginger.
Yes, you called.
Gingers are extremely hard to work with.
Yeah, we know that from each week.
Yeah, we do, because all he wants is your wife, your kids, your bed, and 20 grand a year.
At least I don't want many other people's kids. Hey, Chandler.
Lloyd, how long's Lloyd been here? Sorry, mate.
Because Lloyd and Alex have the same colour in their name.
I know, and I just thought the pink was... Sorry, Lloyd. Miss you, Lloyd.
Oh, my phone's going to shut down. Sorry, guys. And I've got the headphones in the charge port. So thank you very much. Much appreciated. I'm out for 30 seconds. Love you all.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us.
See you later,
Thanks,
mate.
guys.
Take care, man.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Oh dear, battery issues.
Sorry, Lloyd. Sorry,
mate.
Lloyd. So next up, that's it. No,
That's
what were you saying about
Have you-
ginger?
I was me.
Yeah, you were talking about the ales and the beers and.
Yeah, beer flavour. I just thought, a beer flavoured juice?
I'd like it if it was hoppy.
Yeah, I think that could actually make a really nice MTL flavour. I think they are. For me, it would be a mouth to lung rather than a direct lung. I think that could be really nice. I am tempted to buy them just to try them.
I've never. Who are they? Who makes it?
You can get them from Manabush, so I'm not sure whether it's Manabush that makes it or not. But it's on Manabush's website.
They've just given me an idea.
Have they?
They have. We'll talk about this after the show.
Oh, okay. So, can you get access to the show notes? I found some. I did this last week. I pre-did stuff when Kaz first put the link in for content. I'm just making sure that everyone knows this. When Kaz first went, here are the show notes. Put your content in. I've put some new products in there. I don't know whether you want to have a look.
Is this the reload?
Where's that noise coming from?
My phone. I can't actually turn the sound off quick enough.
Oh.
There you go. And did you know what the sound was?
Annoying?
Hang on, I need a top up.
It was. Come on, anyone in chat recognise what the noise was that was coming through?
What the
I bet they don't.
Just sound
I
like
probably
a
ought to
beat.
put it. It was just a beat, but I'll leave it on just in case someone messages me again.
Bear with me.
Great.
I'm sure we did this last week.
Did we do these last week?
No, we didn't. We put them in the notes last week.
No.
Yeah.
No.
100%.
We've spoken about this.
What,
Someone
about-
said
yeah, we
communicator.
spoke about-
It's nearly a communicator. It's not.
Hang on, is this
not
the
a communicator.
the Wismate Reload Tinker 2 with Trough?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
What? We did.
No, we didn't.
I'm pretty sure Chandler put this in the chat about 3 days after the show last week, probably Thursday or Friday last week.
You're not sure, are you?
The topside one, I think we did talk about the topside light.
Oh, did you? Okay, I missed that.
But not the.
This is the trouble with me sliding in late. I never know whether you've done it or not. So apologies if I'm.
It's all right.
Right, browser source. There we go. So I cannot click out the fucking.
Oh, so now it puts the age certification on, and you can't do anything with it.
Thank you for the
Kaz,
follow,
did you just sniff your
Blitz157.
fingers?
Appreciate that. If you guys enjoyed us having Brent on the show and you think we should have more guests like him, let us know. If there's anyone you think we should have on the show, we can always try and get in contact with them, because we like having guests on the show, and especially
Yeah, it's good.
interesting, unique people like Brent. Brent's a dude, and we were super happy to have him on.
Yeah, absolutely. So there we go. We've got a screenshot. I can't show the website. It's being a little bit
It's fine. That'll do.
gimpy. So there we go. Wismate.
Is it me? That's the perfect screenshot, because that was the photo that caught my eye. I wasn't sure whether that was photoshopped in.
See, I don't hate it, but it's an immediate rip-off of the Aegis series mods.
Exactly my point. It looks exactly like the Aegis. It's obviously built to compete with that, and it looks massive in that person's hands, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the Aegis aren't small.
The avatar chip
No.
in it as well. I'm sorry. I don't like it.
No, I'm not.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I
want that one.
Just give another. There we go.
Do you ever find, though, that these mod companies go, oh, it's got this chip in it, it's got that chip in it, as if that's supposedly some kind of pedigree of how good the mod is? It's like, this is the first mod with it in. It might be shit. You can call it, and now I know to avoid anything with that name on it.
And their coils contain 30% wood pulp, 70% organic cotton.
There you
That's
go.
a more common thing as well, as having alternative materials. So the Falcon 2 uses seaweed in its coils.
Seaweed.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
seaweed fiber. But the Falcon coils have always been quite good. So
I do like Wismec stuff. Wismec is a friend of the show, and
Yeah.
they have.
we talk about
produced-
Wismec or with tofu.
Both. Wismec have sent stuff to us.
I like Wismec stuff. I mean, it's been a while. I mean, it used to be that the Rouleau, the 200 was the mod. Everybody and their aunt had it.
Yeah.
I've still got mine.
Yeah, I've still got mine. I've got the one that you could turn it into 2 batteries as well as 3.
Oh no, that was terrible.
That was terrible.
Do you like it?
I must have returned.
Mine. I know you had so many issues
Most
with
of them
people bringing
broke.
them back, didn't you?
I must have returned 30, 40 of those.
Yeah, the one I've got it's still going strong. I haven't broken it yet.
No, for me, that can get in the bin.
Now the original one, the 3 battery one, mine would be working if I had 3 married batteries that weren't utterly shagged.
I had the original Rouleau, and then I liked it so much, I bought the DNA, the silver one.
Yeah. Was that good in DNA form?
Yes. I've still got it somewhere. It's probably in a smouldering box somewhere, but no, the very, very, very good. Dennis had the RX 200, sold it since I got a Triad, and I don't need 2 or 3 battery mods. That's fair enough. I set mine off to be fixed. Forgot the fella's name to the O-ring issue. No, they were. Yeah, the Reloads were. I think. They were a good mod and set the bar very high in the early days.
Yeah, it did.
Right,
So-
more links.
What else did I put in there? I can't remember what else I put in now. I have got the show notes somewhere.
The.
See you later, Blitz. I assume.
I mentioned this on the. I mentioned this one on the chat. Fetch Pro.
I assume that's what you mean by shit dudes. I'm out.
Shot. No, he's knackered. Shot dudes.
Oh.
The fetch. This is what Chris has been banging on about, hasn't he? But he's got the.
This is the
He's got
pro
the-
version.
He's got the original Fetch, which he loves to pieces. So I went, "Oh, Chris, have you seen the Fetch Pro?" And he immediately went, "Oh no, I'll have a look," and then just went,
Don't like it.
"Don't like it. It's horrible."
Um,
Basically, it's a pod system with the up to 80 watts. It goes up to 80 watts. They've changed the pod is slightly bigger.
There's something that
It
you
takes
can.
an 18650.
There is an issue with the fetch though. You can do that to it.
It's made by Smart.
You can
You
shatter
can do
the
what
side
to
of
it?
it.
Oh, have you got one?
I haven't got one. That's a picture of one.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Oh, for a minute there, I thought you were showing me your phone and you broke the phone screen.
No. That's the side of the fetch.
Oh.
Whereas the Fetch Pro hasn't got the acrylic.
No.
It is ugly, isn't it?
Yeah.
it's a bit, and it's got the smock fire bar
Yeah.
where you haven't got a button. The entire side of it is a fire button.
Do you got this fucking focus?
That works really well, but some of the fire buttons, like on this thing, it's pointless. Why a fire bar? Because there's the buttons at the top. It's pointless. That entire bar doesn't do anything. The X-Cube Mini, the whole thing is a fire button, which is useful.
You see, that was one of
Give up.
Smock's things, wasn't it? Back in the early day, it was that side fire bar.
Yeah, but that side fire bar works really well when it was the whole. Where's me? I've got it in here somewhere. There you go. Yeah, the bars on the bottom.
Yeah.
and it is the whole bar. Whereas this one, it's got the whole bar, but pushing it at the bottom does feck all.
Yeah.
You have to. It might just as well have been a button at the top. So there you go.
Right. Let me just save this last image for your. What is it? WebP files. Fucking WebP.
I was going to say the last one was the
Dove.
top side, but if you mention the top side light, then last week
I might have
when
been thinking
wasn't-
of the SQ top side when we were talking about it. Not the Dove. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my camera.
It doesn't
won't-
like you today, does it?
No, it's because held my phone up and it focused on the phone,
And that's it.
And then didn't let go.
and then just not let go of that focal field.
So next one up, then the Dove. Top side.
Yeah, I was
Right.
actually looking for the SQ again. I was trying to see who'd got them in stock because I want one. And this came up, and I went, "Oh, Dove Polo Light."
Another image
So-
incoming. I'm just going to side by side those, just so you can get an idea of. There we go. So that's how she works.
So your battery goes in there. You've got your top fill on the right. It's squonky, but it's single battery. It looks really tiny, but I bet that I didn't look what the juice capacity is, but it's going to be at least 7 or 8 mil. I would have thought.
Let's have a look, shall we?
There we go. It's better.
Polycarb 27. It's a 20 or 21 700. 90 watts.
10 mil.
Is it?
10 mil. Yeah. In that, and for a squonker, that's pretty tiny, isn't it? Really. I know it's gonna be the 21 700, but
Yeah, I mean, Dennis said he had the first one, but it started leaking into the battery compartment pretty quickly. I mean, if it's a
Okay.
separate bottle inside it, then it shouldn't do any leaking. But if it's just a hard plastic case with a squidgy side, it's gonna, isn't it?
yeah.
Brent's back. Peekaboo.
Hey.
Lloyd's got the exact one, and it's not tiny. Matt Emery
Oh, is it not?
held one at Expo. It's fucking massive. You can convert.
Have you seen the 2 battery version of it? It's a monster.
Evening, night work. Good to
The
see you,
original, I know the original top side was 2 batteries, wasn't it?
buddy. There you go. Lloyd is selling his cheap if you want it.
What, the top side?
Minute.
The
Lloyd.
top side, like I want an SQ one. I want an SQ top side. That's what I want.
Fair enough.
Problem was probably
yeah.
the horizontal liquid transfer. Yeah, that. Yeah, I get
It
that.
is. It goes across, and then it
Yeah.
goes. It's really weird because it goes across into the 510, and then up.
Yeah.
So it goes from your bottle across and up, and on the, I don't know how the SQ it goes round the back, and then up. It's got
People
a
on
really.
channel when they squeeze, it needs to withstand sudden pressure, doesn't it?
I watched Grim Green's review of the SQ, and he says because it's like 13 or 14 mil bottle, it's a really big bottle. When it's getting towards the end of the bottle, you've really got to give it some force because all the air compresses before you start getting the liquid up.
Yeah.
So you have to give it a bit of a squeeze to get it to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, the squonk window on the SQ is tiny because it's on the end. It's not on the front on one of the side panels. It's on the end. Yeah, trying to describe it.
Is that everything you have for Instagram and the like?
Yeah, that is. Sorry.
Cool.
So that is what I've seen on Insta this week.
Horrific.
There you go.
I don't know about you guys, but I think we're probably about there.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mm.
It's been a cracking show. I know Brent's in chat still. It was an absolute pleasure. We may well be called Vape Talk UK, but as you know, we support vaping around the world. We support vaping or whatever part of the world you're from. We have got some awesome guests lined up over the next while.
Got quite a lot going on in the background as well, which is cool.
Yeah. We've obviously got Lloyd, who has joined us on the show, but based on his, we're working around his funny shift patterns at the moment. Marksky, good evening. He's on YouTube this evening. We have also had, you'll have noticed, Alex has been quite active this evening. Alex has joined our production crew. He is part and parcel of the show now. It's good to have Alex on board, and also Lloyd as well. But no, we've got lots going on in the background. We've got some really, really good and exciting stuff coming up. So 2020 is the year of VT UK, and we're working hard. I know we soured out for a bit last year, but now we've got the production right. Now we've got, we're really, really happy with you guys on Twitch.
I've got a microphone that works.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like we never want it to be a big showy, all singing, all dancing show. But if your technology fails you, the whole thing goes to shit. It really does. Like
you've seen it die on us. You've seen it die on us week after week.
Some might say those are the best bits.
Yeah, not for us. When Mark's literally throwing shit across his room.
It's like,
stream's gone for the fourth time, and like what the show looks like currently is quite a basic looking show, but you would not believe the amount of technology and software that goes into making it. I mean, most of you probably do, but honestly, it's just silly.
It is. And those of you that are still, there's a handful of people watching on YouTube at the moment. We are making a concerted effort to include you guys on YouTube. Yeah.
Any new watchers on Twitch, please don't forget to hit the follow button. If you've got yourself a Amazon Prime subscription, you'll also get a free Twitch Prime subscription every month. Otherwise, it costs an amount, but everything goes towards supporting the channel. We don't take anything out of it. It just sort of keeps us running. Yeah, basically.
But yes, we're slobbering now. After show, I'm going to have to run straight after the show tonight. So unless one of you guys want to take over the show, there's no after show for me. We know Cass never stays behind anyway.
And I'm ill as fuck today, so I'm definitely not hanging around.
Chandler's just walked in from work, so I'm guessing he wants to have his.
My other half's got a job in. Yeah, my other half's got a job interview tomorrow, so that's going to be. I'm going to have to go and watch her presentation before bed.
Observations all in, but no, thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Don't forget the Late Vape Show. Excuse me, the Late Vape Show on Friday evening. If you can't if you can't make Friday evening, we'll be back next week with loads more content, loads more fun, loads more banter. I think we've got Lloyd back next week. If not, it's the word after, week after. What has happened to my voice?
You've lost it, haven't you?
That was full at the beginning of the night. I blame that. But no. On that note, thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next Tuesday. Adios, motherfuckers!
E-Cig.